Hyperactive.
And this is the ShellShock Society Show. And today we're going to be talking about the underrated Aquaman. Alright, let's break this down. Alright, so Aquaman, he's one of the superheroes out there that, you know, he's one of the big seven of the Justice League, right? But we feel like he gets overshadowed a lot and the butt of a lot of jokes. Now, it's okay to make fun of Aquaman, because you can make, the way you make fun of Batman and Superman and the Flash and whatever.
What's not to poke fun at? The guy talks to fish.
Right, well, we'll correct that a little later. But Aquaman, he's the butt of, like, way too many. Like, everybody just thinks he's lame and his powers are stupid. We're going to go over his powers and lay down some facts straight in case those out there who don't know just how great Aquaman really is. Alright, let's go over this list of superpowers I have of Aquaman's abilities. Now, granted, I guess not all of them are superpowers, but the reasons why he's a badass, okay?
There are reasons as to why you should like Aquaman. I think one of the first points we were getting at was he has super strength. I mean, who the heck knew that, he's strong? How strong was Aquaman?
He's strong enough to knock Superman on his ass.
That is pretty freaking awesome. That's electrifying.
He can go toe-to-toe with Superman if he wants. A lot of people argue against that, but he can. Okay? He's also extremely durable, much like Superman, in which he can deflect bullets. And not just because of his shiny armor, either.
Can he leap buildings?
In a single bound, yes.
Now that is awesome!
He has the ability also to swim at super speed. Some people might think that's lame, but yeah, what can you do? Anyways, the other thing he has the ability to do is command aqua life with telepathy.
What's the difference between that and talking to animals?
He doesn't actually talk to them. Now, first of all, you got to think about the brain levels of some of these animals, like fish. Okay, fish. You can't have a conversation with something that isn't even aware it's actually alive. I mean,
let's give him an example.
Here's an example.
So, have you heard of the movie The Little Mermaid? No, I haven't. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, that shit wouldn't happen. Okay, you don't talk to sharks. Okay. Here's what would happen. It's me, Black Manta! I will kill you now, Aquaman!
Oh no! Shark! Bite his arms up! Nom 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 nom!
Oh my god, this is what really happens! Ah! Yeah, that's how it works, okay? Okay. There's actually a great part in the New 52 books where Aquaman is ordering fish and chips or something like that. And there's somebody's behind him who's like, you can't order that. He's like, why not? Because you talk to them. And he's like, I don't talk to fish. Anyways.
He was eating fish chips?
Something like that.
Fish?
What else is he gonna eat? They eat fish. Oh. They're not his friends. They're his food.
That's sadistic. I like this guy even more. One of his other abilities is magical water manipulation. Now, I use the term magical because I don't understand the science behind it. So it's magical.
Yeah, and usually this comes from his trident, too. But he also has learned some crafts. Much like his wife, Mara, who they have a kind of a hydrokinesis, if you will, where they can bend and use and control water. Much like Avatar would.
Waterbenders.
Waterbending, yeah. Aquaman's trident also allows him to control and create tidal waves to the point where he can actually flood cities. Aquaman can also breathe underwater. That's kind of a given when you're an water-based guy.
I'd assume that you can breathe underwater if you live underwater. Yeah. I don't know, but, I mean, he doesn't have gills, so...
Yeah, and this is actually a huge advantage in a lot of fights, too. I mean, a lot of people will overlook it and whatnot, but he can breathe on land and in water. He also has, being the king of a nation, a royal status, royal riches, and an army of superhumans behind him, okay? Let's just go over this again. Royal status, okay? Basically, it's like diplomatic immunity, similar to what Dr. Doom has. Royal riches. The guy is probably richer than Batman, okay? He doesn't need to go around buying gadgets, though, because he actually has superpowers. And a fucking nation to fucking run. So, unlike Batman, who just like, all right, I run a company, but, I'm going to actually have some other guys run it for me.
Yeah, gadgets are neat, but I mean, let's face it, Atlanteans, I mean, there's some benefits to being the king of Atlantis. These people are just like Aquaman. They have superhuman strength. They're fast underwater. They can breathe underwater. And they've got superior technology.
Yeah, superior technology. So imagine having an army of superhumans with advanced technology unlike anyone else's on Earth. Kind of like how Darkseid does on Apocalypse, okay? That is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with Aquaman and his Atlantean army, okay? An army of superhumans with advanced technology, often overlooked. He's also a skilled warrior. Aquaman is just as much a skilled warrior as Wonder Woman is. There's one very attractive point I would like to make that Aquaman has that no other Justice Leaguer has.
And man, is she hot! It's shocking.
Yes, Mera, aka Aquawoman. That is Aquaman's hot wife with similar powers. Okay, she's got the strength, she's got the underwater breathing and swimming, and she's actually better at the magical water kinesis stuff than he is.
It's explosive. I mean, she's hot.
She can handle herself against other superheroes, or superhumans, I should clarify.
In other words, she's not a victim.
Yeah, unlike, Lois Lane and any of the Flash girlfriends or wives. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Batman's had some girlfriends that could handle themselves. Yeah, but Talia al Ghul and Catwoman are villains, okay? Just saying. Batman's got bad choice in women. He's dating criminals, okay? Mira's not a criminal. Now, I know what you're thinking too.
Well, there was Wonder Woman, but then again, she's been around with every other superhero.
Yeah. No, I know what you're thinking, okay? We're supervillains. What do we care about this whole, why are we putting it down? Because villains stick with villains and heroes stick with heroes, okay? We don't like that mismatched kind of shit, okay? Trying to you, Batman. The other plus about Mera is she's alive.
Sorry, John.
And she's not this overly man-hating type of feminist. The negative. What's the word you use?
Well, let me elaborate a little bit on the term feminist. I mean, it can be positive and negative, but Wonder Woman in this case, she's an extreme feminist to the point to where on her home island, it's a crime punishable by death. Death! For any man to step foot, even if he was to wash up onto the shore from a shipwreck. That's a little extreme. I mean, then there's the Flashpoint series. During that storyline, Wonder Woman and the Amazonians have taken over part of Europe. As they're conquering and subjugating the fine folks of Europe, they're killing off the men. And then turning the women into Amazonians. Which, personally, I think that's a little extreme.
Although she has this whole, anti-man kind of thing a lot of times, she gets passed around the Justice League quite a bit, too. Wonder Woman has been with Superman, she has been with Batman, and she's been with Aquaman, as well as some Flyboy.
She has more miles on her than my truck. And that's a lot.
Yeah. And that, once again, is why Mera is so much cooler than Wonder Woman.
She's loyal!
Let's touch base on another topic that has to deal with Aquaman. And I feel like he's kind of lacking, is having a really good rogues gallery.
No kidding. Off the top of my head, before we did any homework on this, I could think of maybe 2 villains that Aquaman has. 2. I think we've got the list down to 4 today.
Yeah, well, 4 that we're going to talk about specifically, yes. Now, I know there's a lot of actual... There's a huge list of villains. A lot of them are kind of repetitive or just... They don't stand out or... They're not great villains. They're not good enough villains to stand out to the point where... they would stand out the way a rogue would stand out on the Flash's rogues or any of the Batman villains or Superman villains, okay? First on the list is we got Ocean Master.
So, who's Ocean Master? I have no idea who this guy is.
Ocean Master is the half-brother of Aquaman. It's a classic case of sibling rivalry. We have Aquaman, who's on the throne, and Ocean Master, who wants to take the throne from him. It's a story that, I mean, it's nothing new, really. It's kind of an old story, but it is kind of a classic villain, and technically, I guess, I can't really think of anybody else who has an arch nemesis like that.
There can only be one!
The other one is Black Manta.
Really quite the impressive villain. He's not your typical villain. He's not in it for world domination or for money. This guy just hates Aquaman. I mean, he loathes him. Everything he does is calculated to make Aquaman suffer. Now, what possibly could drive a man to such extreme behaviors?
Well, I know in the New 52, it's because Black Manta's father is killed by Aquaman. So I think that's what starts the hate. One thing that I really kind of like about the New 52 is Black Manta ends up joining the Suicide Squad. And I don't know if it's I think they fitted his helmet to do this. I don't know if it's a psychological thing or his helmet allows him to see everybody around him as Aquaman. Because he gets to kill Aquaman over and over then. So every time when he goes into a place and he mows down soldiers and he kills soldiers left and right, they look like Aquaman to him. So he realized that killing Aquaman wasn't going to be enough for him, but being able to kill Aquaman over and over was a good enough reason apparently to join the Suicide Squad.
Now that is conviction.
Yeah. Now, there's another guy called Scavenger. The Scavenger, I didn't really get to know a whole lot until I started reading him in 52. I like the way he looks. He's got this big diving bell type underwater suit, and it keeps making me think, you know, they haven't done it yet, but I want to see him in a huge, like, underwater robot suit and battle Aquaman. Because what would be cooler than a guy in a giant robot suit battling Aquaman underwater?
Now, what does Scavenger look like?
Well, the Scavenger's actual appearance, he's kind of just a big man and very strong. I think he's like ex-Navy or something. He's basically a type of pirate, though. They're treasure hunters. He's got a bunch of pirates that have submarines that follow him around and follow his orders. And they find and steal and trade in Atlantean technology and artifacts.
Loot and pillage! Arr!
Yeah.
All right. Well, going on to our next villain. And if you've been keeping up with the Flash series on TV, actually this next villain was in one of the last episodes that they have. And it's King Shark. I personally like King Shark. I love him. He's quite an interesting villain.
Yeah, I like these savage animal type, villains. They're a lot of fun to watch and see unhinge and stuff like that.
Think of an doctor or an island of Dr. Maru. It's a cross between a human and a shark. I mean, you got the strength, the strength of a shark, the speed of a shark underwater,
the bloodlust,
the
sharp teeth. And on top of that, the mind of a human. I mean, he's not completely like a stupid animal. He can think and reason. And you get to see a lot of that in the Suicide Squad, the New 52 Suicide Squad stuff. I really enjoy reading about him in those.
I mean, think of Jaws. If the shark had only had the brain of a human, completely different outlook on that movie, you know? That's King Shark. This guy's awesome.
The Dawn of Justice is supposed to kind of lead us into
an intro on a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Wasn't Aquaman like one of the original founding fathers for Justice League?
Actually, he's one of the founding characters in Justice League. He's supposed to make a cameo appearance, and I'm not sure. I thought originally it was 2017, but I think it's 2018, and we'll see an Aquaman movie. And me personally, I'm really excited to see how they're going to do this. There's been a lot of movies where they've done underwater effects or underwater filming and stuff. But to film an action movie to this degree, where they're not, Aquaman isn't running around inside a submarine. It's him in the water swimming around I'm kind of interested in seeing how they plan on doing this.
It'll be neat to see how they cinematically make this movie.
Well, this has been another episode of the
ShellShock Society Show!
Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe and like and share and all that great stuff. And we're going to keep making videos regardless.
So, whether you think it's shocking, explosive, like our shit, man. Oh yeah, that's how Aquaman likes it. Oh yeah.
Aquaman, what are you doing with that shark?
I'm commanding it.